shameful compete level. That's it.
Doug, I mean, you kind of just said it there, but I was going to ask you, I mean, after everything that's transpired over the last couple of days, your messages,
We're going to find people that want to compete, period.
does that come within the locker room, do you think? Or
Listen, you got to look in the mirror and say to yourself, we're gonna show each individual film. If that's your compete level, it's unacceptable, period. We gotta compete. That's all. That wasn't a high level of competition. Like, a team plays hard. They're young, and it's taken them a few years to get the right type of wings and athleticism and size, and they've done that. But they just compete hard. That's all. They just getting out in transition and running. Nothing special. But when you play a team like that, you got to compete, period. And if you don't, that'll be the damn result every single time.
Doug, in the third quarter, you took out all the starters. Was
Yep.
that a message, Sub?
Well, it says 33-8 in fast break points. So, yeah, listen, everybody, every single person. I look in the mirror every morning. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that we right the ship. But unacceptable, period. And if they being real, they're going to tell you the same thing.
Coach Christie, there's a lot of things that could be said about, that stat box, but 31-3 fast break.
Hey,
Did that sound like that's a little lackadaisical to you?
definitely. 33-8 in fast break points just says that you're not getting back, you're not communicating, you're not building walls, you're not being physical. It also goes with your shot profile. If you're going to shoot bad shots, if you're going to shoot unbalanced floor shots and turn the ball over in live ball turnovers, 20 turnovers and give up 20 points and 33 fast break points. Listen, this ain't about anything but competition and effort, period. You can play that team 10 times, and I doubt you would get a result like that, especially after this. Play them 9 more times. Not if you got no damn pride.
To the point of competition and effort, it seems like these 4 games have all kind of been that similar theme.
Yeah.
Do you see it getting worse? Is it regressing in any way for you guys?
I mean, there's confidence. There's a lot of different things that can go into that. But you're professionals. You signed up for this, and this league is hard. And with that being said, this is only game 12. I mean, it's a lot of basketball to be played. You've demonstrated that you can do this. You played against Oklahoma City and competed at a high level. You went into Milwaukee and beat them. I mean, you've competed against really good teams. And make no mistake about it, all these teams, I mean, Minnesota, Western Conference Finals, OKC, Western Conference Finals eventual champion, Denver Nuggets, semifinal. These are really good teams. But ain't nobody checking for that. You're going to have to play your way out of it, period. If you've ever been to any gym, rec, hood, anywhere, get ran off the court and see if you get some respect. I've been to all of them. And I've taken butt whoopings. That's part of it. But you know what I do? I'm going to come back. Nah. That ain't it. You are not going to represent Sacramento Kings. It just ain't happening, man. Not while I'm here. And you know how that goes. So I'm a realist. It's part of our business. But put on a jersey, represent it properly. These people need to come into the turnstiles, and they need to be proud when they leave here about the product that they see. Not fucking embarrassed. Excuse me. Unacceptable. Period. It is. This is a simple one. This ain't even hard. Sometimes you come up here and you're trying to figure out, well, maybe I'll go back and look at. I don't need to look at no tape. Probably won't look at it. I seen it once live. Damn, if you want to look at it again. But I will.
Coach, starters fall behind again for another game, and the bench unit comes in, looks really good. What is the contrast that you're seeing between those two units, and are you looking at possibly
Yeah, I mean,
changing
you got
combinations?
to. I mean, those guys are minus 31, minus 38, minus 34, minus 20. Like you got to. I mean, you know, they need to look at themselves and say, when we competing at a high level, we playing against anybody. We was 3 points or whatever it was going into the fourth with Denver. You know, Milwaukee, you compete all the way to the end. And then you just do that. That's wild. And that's not anything except, you know, tying your shoes tight and saying, you know what, I'm about this life and I'm going to go represent properly. I mean, you know, our families are in here. These people are our family. I'd be damned if I would go out and represent like that for them. I'm glad my wife was at home. My son, too.
Doug, kind of building off of that, your connection with this fan base has been consistent over your entire career here
Yep.
in Sacramento. You've said you want them to feel proud every single night when they leave. How should this fan base, you think, feel just with this team in this game and where everything is at right now?
I mean, it's going to get right. And I told you guys yesterday, it's going to get bumpy. Because when you start to rattle the cage and say, like, this is unacceptable, not everybody reacts to how you want them to react, you know. But we going to do it. And on the other side of that, it's going to happen. But I was embarrassed. I wish I could have put on the jersey. At 55, I would have showed you better than that. At least I'm going to use all 6 fouls. I can't move. But I'm going to foul the shit out of somebody. Like, people just running around, running down the lane, not grabbing nobody, and then they just grabbing, holding, pushing. You know, so much that the refs is like, well, that's how they play. Because that's how we should play. And the ref should say, that's how they play. Can't call them all. But ours is blatant because we ain't touching nobody. We're not physical. So when you're not physical and you're not touching nobody, as soon as you do touch somebody, it's a foul. And then you're looking at the ref crazy. Like, nah, I'd say really too much to the refs because the refs can't help you on this. This is all an individual saying, we bringing it. And they can. They have. And I'll be damned if they will.
Doug, you have a locker room with several established veterans and leaders.
Yes.
How would you like them to respond or lead and step up in this
I would
time?
like them to lead because you said veterans and leaders. So they need to lead because we got young players in there watching this. And I'm going to text every one of them young players. That's not acceptable. Do not even think about even trying to equate that is okay. Do not do it. I will not let you do that because that shit, it ain't cool. No. So they need to lead. What do you want for your team? What do you want for this city? If you want something more than what that was, because that was trash, then lead them. Talk to them. Demonstrate for them. Go out there and show them. Like, listen, maybe you only got 10 minutes of, like, man, put it down. Well, if that's what you got, then that's what you give. Not floating for 30 and playing for 10. Play the game. The game is to be respected. There's a way to play this game. That ain't it. Hats off to Atlanta because they played the right way.
Doug, just to reiterate, your connection with the city and these fans is obviously well known, and your passion, for the team, the organization. How do you get the guys back there to care and want this as much as you do?
It's an interesting question, Jason, which you usually come up with some good ones.
Doug, what is your team saying to
Well,
you?
hold on. I wasn't done with Jason. I was thinking because he He has one of them thought spawning joints that he do. You know, this one is past me, Jason. This is about you. I know what I feel. I know what time I get up. I know what time I put into this. I know how serious I am about my job. I know what I want for them. And I even take it a step further and say, I know what the organization wants. But you got to want that as an individual. Individually, when you look in the mirror. And then after that, then you go collective. And right now, that's where we run into the problem, is the individual and the collective. Individually, you got to bring it. And then collectively, you got to love on each other. You got to love your brother enough to help him, to talk, to be there, to have extra efforts and multiple efforts on the defensive end of the floor and fly around. Because I'm here to tell you, it's hard. Defense is not for the faint of hearts. That's why everybody don't do it. But if the last thing that I do, we will put a product out there that they like, damn, he did that, and they doing that. It just is how it's going to be. We're not going to accept nothing less. I don't want our fans to accept. To your point, don't accept nothing less. Nah, don't. You don't have to. It's people that actually will do things the right way. Might not be as talented, but guess what? That's when the hockey shift came in. We got some young kids. But you know what they're going to try to do? They're going to try to compete. Now, you know, Max not as talented as Porzingis yet, and he got into trouble and he get back cut, and okay. But it ain't from a lack of effort. It ain't from a lack of want. Go ahead.
What are your veterans telling you? Because you got a whole team of them out there, and you had to pull all 5 of them.
They saying they want to compete. But one thing that I know is you can talk about it all you want. But this ain't this ain't no lawyerly area where we gonna be verbal competing. We not doing that. This ain't a debate show. This is physical. This is basketball. So you can tell me all day, and you can tell yourself all day, and you can tell your teammates all day, but one thing that I do know is the ball is thrown up, and that's when you need to step up and show that. Period. Every night. 48 minutes, 24 fucking seconds at a time.
Russ, first up,
Oh, yeah. There you go.
happy birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to watch that with everybody else. What exactly is going on with this team? You've been around so many teams, and you know the vibe and everything else, but what is missing here?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think we just trying to figure it out, you know, as a team. As you guys can see and aware, tonight wasn't our best effort by any means, but I do think there's a conscious effort of trying to figure it out and trying to figure out what works for us as a team, and all we have is each other. Based on my experience, the best part about this game and this league is that stuff like this can either pull you apart or can pull you closer. And I think as a team, as an organization, for me being in the league some time as leadership is, you know, it's a part of some of my responsibility, just everyone here to be able to become closer, find a way to be able to just compete at a high level. We got to do that as a team.
Russ, of course, you know, you've been around this game for a long time on all different levels and stuff. So when you see a team like the Atlanta Hawks, you know, and they poured it out, they poured it on.
Yeah.
When they flexing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
what do y'all sit there and think about when, you know, they flexing their muscle, they feel it. Them testosterone's high right now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't pay much mind to that, to be honest. That's a part of the game. That's the theatrics and different things of that nature. But for us, it's what about us? I know when we put our best foot forward, we've done it in parts of games Tonight we didn't do it at all, but I think as a team and as a unit, we have to be able to stamp our footprint on just competing. And I think missing, making shots is all a part of the game. That's fine, but competing at a high level is something that we have to do each and every night. And that always gives yourself a chance to be in basketball games and win games.
Hey, Russ, it's obviously so early, and you guys have seen what you've been capable of even when
Yep.
on the road. This stretch here, just as frustrations kind of mount, how surprising is this to you to kind of see it?
Oh, I mean, surprising. I mean, things happen. I mean, if we're being honest, we're in a tough stretch as who we're playing. The travel, the days. I think you take a lot of that into consideration. A lot of newness around here as part of the team. I'm new, organization. A lot of changes. Things are happening. I don't think things will click immediately. Obviously, based on our talent, we should be better than 3-9, absolutely. But I've been in the league, as you mentioned, a long time, and as a unit, as a team, we got to find a way to be able to get out of this slump and stay with it and stick together, and then we'll be happy on the backside of everything.
Russ, I'm sure you've seen Doug's passion and just how, driven that guy is to win for this city and this organization. How is his messaging landing in the locker room amongst you guys as you try to figure this out? Yeah,
I think Doug, man, has done a great job of staying true to who he is. And as you mentioned, he's a very passionate and wants to go out and compete. He's finding nuances and finding new ways to make sure that we understand his full messaging. I think we, as a team, have to do a better job of just relaying the message from film room, from the practice to the game floor, and that's on us. There's no blame by any means towards Doug. It's on us to be able to go out and compete at the highest level. He can't play for us. He can tell us and put us in position to be able to be successful, but us as a team and as a unit, we have to go out and compete and put our best foot forward.
Hi, Russ. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You just mentioned that times like this either pull teams apart or together. In your experience, what's the most important part for a team during times like this to make sure you end up on the positive side of that?
Yeah, I think there's a combination of a few things. I think sometimes you kind of just have to flush certain games down the toilet. I've had games where you just kind of, it wasn't your night. Other times I think you communicate, make sure communication is very high, because I think it's important to be able to talk amongst each other as brothers to communicate what each of us may see on the floor. And I think off the floor is important too, hanging out, enjoying each other's time, embracing this game. This game will do so much for so many people. We have to make sure we understand, yes, in times of adversity, it's easy to start pointing fingers and saying who needs to be here, who doesn't. Really not my way about going about things. Adversity is the best way to be able to show who you really are, show your true colors. And I know a lot of guys in the locker room want to compete and want to win. And part of leadership and part of, my job here is to make sure that we're able to bring some of those things intact so that when adversity does hit us, which is hitting us now, we are together, we are staying together, we're not running from the fight, we're going towards it.
In those instances where you guys are playing well, like in Milwaukee and in OKC, what do you see in those games that is allowing you guys to click and compete?
Just competing. It's not like, we running certain plays or we're certain guys getting shots. We just playing hard. The game, you play hard, and a lot of teams are doing that. Good things happen, plain and simple. I don't think there's no, we can't point to one thing that's saying, hey, we did this in Milwaukee or we did this against OKC. But I know when you compete and you play hard, you always give yourself a chance to be in the game.
Russ, being that you still new to the team or whatnot, but you're expected to be, one of the leaders. Yeah. Has it been, difficult or strange kind of, imposing your leadership on the guys in a short time?
Not really. I think that's the best part about leadership. You get a chance to learn about each individual. You get a chance to learn about how people react, how they see different things, and I think that's all a part of it. we 12 games in, and I think there's so much time and so much space in front of us. And leadership, it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that's, you have to be consistent and don't run away from it. And I'm up for any challenge. And I know as a team we are up for whatever challenge that we're facing right now. And I think this is the best part about being, whether it's under fire, however we want to look at it, is to figure out, what we're going to do, look in the mirror at ourselves and figure out what we can do individually, and then come together collectively and make a change.
Russ, in your experience, Doug has been really clear about the identity he wants his team to have.
Yep.
This team is loaded with, Hall of Fame level offensive talent. When you kind of have that situation where the identity your coach wants you to have might not be what personally some guy's strong suit is.
Yep.
How difficult is that to balance that as a player, building a Hall of Fame career on your offense and being asked to play a different style?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's that's why it's a team sport, to be honest. I think, I've been on different teams and where some guys are really good on certain sides of the ball and other guys are not. Some guys shoot the ball very well, some guys don't. I think the reality of that is that's why it's a team game, and our coach is asking us to be able to compete and play hard. I don't, I think it's important that playing hard is not an option. I think that is something that we all should do, and I think that is not an option. Now, we got to make sure we helping each other out, have each other's back. That is strictly on us as a team, and that's something that we have to do a better job of, and we've done it. We just got to be able to do it for 48 minutes, and I think that's the best part about team sports. You have each other's back, and you support each other. Yeah.